Well, hello everybody. Here I am again. Today's topic is going to be how do we deal with an answer that is not correct. But anyways, I am in my yard, so you're going to hear a lot of noises. I think there is a neighbor that is mowing his lawn, and there is a guard that we have at our door that is a chipmunk that never shuts his mouth day and night. I thought at first that he was looking for a mate, but he must have found it by now, and he still chirps nonstop. And there are birds flying all over the place. But I really wanted to be outside because it is such a beautiful autumn day. You know, this year the colors have to be brighter than ever. They really do. Maybe I forget. Maybe I forget every year. But on Sunday, my wife and I went hiking to this state park, and the colors were just stunning. I mean, many different shades of yellow, many different shades of red and oranges. I mean, it was just, every corner was a beautiful surprise. It was amazing, absolutely amazing. So I just wanted to be outside. The sky is not so blue anymore, but because it is a little bit late, but it's just, the weather is just, it's kind of chilly, a little bit chill, but not too cold, not too hot. I mean, it's just that perfect autumn weather. I wanted to be outside today. So thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for taking the time every week. Thank you for your likes, for your comments. Thank you for your subscriptions. Last week I had 6 subscriptions. I really appreciate that. And I truly do appreciate the fact that you take time every week to spend a few minutes with me. For me, it's a privilege to actually reflect on my teaching practices and what I'm doing in the classroom that is working and what is not working. So truly, it is, it's an honor for me to be here every week. So thank you for taking the time to be with me. It is Wednesday already, so we have 2 more days, and then the weekend, and we have Thanksgiving coming up, one of my favorite holidays. So we have had a really nice time in the classroom. We've had a good time with our students. We've been trying to be faithful to a meeting that we do at the end of the day, to where we have a little conversation with the students and we talk about our goals. It's like a community meeting. So we're trying to do that every week, and it really does help for the environment in the classroom. But as I mentioned before, today the topic is how do we deal with a question that was answered incorrectly. And the way that I came up with this topic is, well, first of all, because I struggle with that. When a student answers something incorrectly, I'm always a little bit wary of telling him or her that that was wrong, or that that was not the correct answer, and how do I say it, or do I even say anything, right? So, I struggle with that. And yesterday, I was at a workshop with a famous author that we use her book a lot in our classrooms, and she never, ever, ever let a student answer something incorrectly and just go on. She always found a way to deal with that wrong answer in a way that it made the student feel comfortable. At the same time, she did not compromise the information, and she advanced the learning for the student and for the whole class. So I was watching her, and it was kind of hard. It's kind of hard to explain what I saw, because when you have an expert in action, you kind of have it here, but it's hard to say it. But I will try my best, because it's what I'm going to try to do in my classroom. So many times when I'm teaching any type of lesson, students will answer. They're eager to answer, but they'll answer incorrectly. So we can either move on and pretend that everything was okay, or we can ask another student to answer the question, or we can say that was wrong. But this is the way that she did it, and she did it quite like it was a practice that obviously she has mastered. So the way that she did it was, when a student, and many times students answered questions incorrectly, so she would say, okay, let's think about that for a moment. Let's think about it. And then she would ask a follow-up question, or she would ask the question in a different way to guide the student to the right answer. So many times it took a lot of prompting and a lot of scaffolding to get that student to actually say or express the right answer. And most of the time she accomplished it. with the right questioning and the right scaffolding, she actually accomplished it. And when I saw that, I said, I need to take that back into my classroom. I cannot ignore answers that are given incorrectly. I cannot ignore that. I have to acknowledge that, but at the same time, I have to do it in a way that is going to advance the learning of the student and advance the learning of the whole class. So I think for me, I'm going to have to be very familiar with the material, more so than maybe I am now. Like really read the books carefully and have different types of questions prepared and different types of scaffolds, so that when those occasions arise, I am able to then have the right questioning, have the right scaffolds to ask the students, because I don't want to discourage them from answering questions. If I say that it's wrong, they're going to be discouraged for next time. But at the same time, I don't want to let it go because it is wrong information, and so I want to advance his or her learning and the learning for the whole class. So that is my goal. That is my goal for this week, and I have to keep at it, because sometimes I make a plan that I'm going to do this and I do it for a couple of days, but then I don't continue doing it. So my plan is to incorporate that strategy in my classroom, because it's going to enrich my lessons, it's going to enrich my learning and the environment in my classroom. So I hope that as we prepare our lessons, as we think of the questions that we are going to ask, that we have the same question in different ways, so that if the occasion arises that the student will answer incorrectly, we will already have thought of that and have another question to ask. Now, we cannot plan for every incorrect answer, but what we can plan is to not let those go and find ways, right? And find ways. And something that she mentioned that I thought was very interesting, I said, many times and you have to be watching the student, because sometimes you do need to give him some time to think. But many times the student is frozen. And they don't know what to say. So at that time, you need to scaffold so that you have to sort of interrupt there and scaffold so that you can bring the student and guide the student to the right answer. So sometimes given too much time, the student just keeps freezing and eventually, lose all confidence and not be able to answer. So we want to boost their confidence, but not at the cost of accepting wrong answers. So we want excellence, we want confidence, we want participation, all of those things in the classroom. I guess it's not that easy to be a teacher, right? It's not that easy, but we are not in an easy profession, we are not. And we strive to do our very best. We want to have the best classrooms. We want to have a lot of learning happening. We want to have an environment that is safe and an environment where students feel good and we feel good. We have to have those relationships. So it is my wish, it is my hope that we can plan to maximize the learning in our classrooms as much as possible. And we don't have that much time left for the year. Already 3 months have gone by, and before we know it, the school year will be over. And we have a lot of work to do. No stress, right? We just do our best. We prepare the best lessons possible. We teach with as much energy as possible. We have the students' best interest in our minds and hearts, and we will succeed. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope you have a good rest of the week. And as Thanksgiving gets closer, I hope that you will have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family. And if you have any questions or any comments or anything like that, please do not hesitate to contact me. Thank you, goodbye, and I will see you next Wednesday.